I hit like a glass kind of ceiling at suplex, or just kind of a roadblock, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to get any better here. And I don't want to like get a big ego by saying this, or like being all egotistical, but I think someone said to me, like, when you're one of the best in the locker room, you need to leave and go to a locker room where you're the worst. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, it's a saying that my dad always said to me, which is like, you never want to be the smartest person in the room.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to be in a room where like there's a bunch of people smarter than you, because that's where you're going to learn, and that's where you're going to develop, and that's where you're going to grow as a person. So I get it.
So yeah, that's the exact mindset from me moving from suplex to Nui, is that I just wanted to be the worst there, so I can just keep learning and keep growing and just work my way up. So if I stayed at suplex, I wouldn't have been able to. I would have just grown like stagnant. I wouldn't have gotten any better. I probably would have gotten worse after a certain amount of time. But yeah, like the differences in, have you seen either show? Did you watch?
I've seen UE Pro, Suplex. I've seen things and I've seen bits and pieces, and it's not a product that I would go out and pursue watching. You know what I mean? Like, you're someone I've known.
No, that's okay.
You're someone I've known for a couple of years, and I definitely would support you.
Am I not a draw to you, Piers? Do you not watch these shows for me?
No, I would watch.
What are you trying to say?
I would watch that stuff for you, but like, even in the same sense of that, I'd know that because of the things that have been said on my podcast by other people, that if I was going to rock up to a suplex show, it would most likely cause. I wouldn't want it to be taking away from what actually should be attention be paid onto, and that would be the performers on the show. And that's why as well, like, I probably wouldn't go to one of their shows even if I did have friends on them, because I wouldn't want to take away from anything and cause a problem for people on that show. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, I totally get what you mean. But yeah, no, it's kind of like one of those things where like suplex is what it is. Like, I'm grateful for it.
Sure.
And it's giving an opportunity to guys that wouldn't normally get an opportunity. So that's really great.
Yeah.
But I just needed to step up and leave.
Yeah.
Or go to another place to get better personally.
But I think there's also levels. You need to, like, if you feel like you need to level up and you feel like this is something that's, you know, you want to eventually get signed and all these other things, you know, Nui Pro is a company which has obviously a lot of eyes on it from that perspective as well. So it's like you have to put yourself in the best situation possible.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's why I'm at Nui pretty much.
Yeah. So why did they strip the title from you?
So my tag partner, he went to Kingdom, or he's going to Kingdom.
Yeah.
And you know, the whole Nui Civil War thing that's going on.
Yeah. Me and Tyler Gunn Adam Graham's been involved.
Yeah, so he went over, and that enticed the booker of Suplex to message me and be like, okay, you going over? And me, half jokingly, but also very much serious, I go, depends on what they pay me, brother. And then I found out what they pay me.
Brother.
Yeah, I found out what they were going to pay me. And I was like, oh, okay, that sounds good. I'll go over, because, you know, Suplex doesn't have me on any exclusivity contracts. They're not paying me like a bunch of money where I would say no to another booking. Like, it's 100%. Close to me, it makes sense. Yeah, I'd make money from the booking. I'd make more from that booking than Suplex. So I think I was just like, yeah, I tried to make it clear. I don't know if I did, that I would still work Suplex if I was wanted there. But there's that whole policy with, you know, if you work Kingdom, you can't work Suplex. So that just kind of led to me getting picked.
I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. Like, if you've got someone who's marketable in the area, and you know what I mean, like, you would, like, if your character and you as an act can sell 30, 40 tickets to a show, I don't give a fuck who you work for while you're not working for me. Like that's kind of like the silliness that I find like with certain things of promoters is like, oh,
Oh,
like
I think
telling
the
their
screen froze
workers.
there. Can you?
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Oh,
you
there we
there?
are. We're back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just for like certain promotions saying like, oh, you can't work for this, like, fuck, man. Like
Yeah.
over 40, $50, like you can't tell someone that shit, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or 100, whatever it is. But like, you can't
Yeah.
really say that to someone where they can and can't do their shit.
Yeah. Like it's a point where it's like you have to respect the boss's decision and just be like, yeah, okay, but what, like, whatever. But sometimes it's also a decision that you think is stupid.
Yeah. Hey, look,
Yeah.
some people need to run their businesses. They won't need to run them. And sometimes people make decisions when running businesses that aren't liked by other people. And that's part of the being a businessman and or business person and being involved in business. So
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
definitely
I
comes
think
on
like the
that.
whole thing is that like it's not being looked at as a business kind of decision. I think the way it's looked at is like it's all personal, like the whole kind of rule of not wanting people to go over there. It's just like it's just a petty kind of personal thing, I think. But either way, it was probably time for me to have a break from that company.
Yeah, right. So did they say to you, hey, you've got to return the belt and all this other thing? It's like deal's done.
Well, they tricked me a bit, and me being a bit of a dumb fuck, I fell for it. Obviously, I got messaged and I was like, "Can you drop the belt at the shed? I'm not going to take it off you. I just don't want to see it on another show." And I was like, "Okay, I don't think I'm that type of person to do that, but I'll drop it off because, like, like I get anxiety. Like I get when people get anxious. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to argue with that. I'll just go do it." So I dropped it off at the shed, fully expecting to be on the next show. And then I get a message being like, "I heard rumors you left Suplex." And I'm like, "What? What's this about?" Like just from one of the workers there.
Yeah.
And I check if I'm on like the Facebook group still. And I've been kicked from all of them. So I message the promoter and I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" And he's like, "Oh, I kicked a bunch of guys. I don't know what's happening. So we had to kick you." And I was like, "Okay, so am I on the next show or not?" And I didn't really get a definite answer. So I'm assuming I'm gone and I'm not going to rock up to a show I don't know if I'm booked on. So,
Of course, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, there's certain ways to do business, bro. And like, I mean, in all honesty, like, was he concerned that you were going to like appear on Nui Pro?
I don't think so much Nui Pro
Yeah.
because I don't think Nui Pro really want that belt on the promotion anyway. Like Nui Pro they don't give a fuck about like the Civil War. But
yeah, no, not at all. Not at all. I can't imagine Hoff sitting there worrying about it at night, to be honest.
Yeah, probably. Like he stays up till like 3 a.m. just sweating bullets. But he was worried about me taking it on a Kingdom show. So I think that was the big issue there.
I mean, like, why? Yeah, I mean, I don't think you would be that kind of person to do that kind of shit. Like as a like as the way that you do business and everything that I've heard from people that have been around you. Like I can't imagine you doing something like that. And like to be honest, like the only people I've seen take belts from other promotions to another fed or whatever is like people that have had that approval. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? So I don't know. Like that's kind of a weird. Like,
yeah,
it must have been a fear though.
yeah. I think it was just an anxiety kind of thing. Like he just was like, "Oh, I'm really anxious. Like I'm overthinking this," and like someone who has that myself, like it's just I don't want to like aggravate that. I just want to be like, "Okay, no, that's okay. I'll do that." Kind of expected it to just be like, "Okay, we're taking the belt off you now that we have the belt." There was still that kind of like hope in my mind that okay, no, like I'll trust him with this, and then yeah, shouldn't have, but there we go.
I mean, do you wish that you still had it? Like, do you wish that you still had possession of this belt?
Honestly, I don't care. Like I care, like not a lot. I think my main focus at the moment is Nui. So that's where
Sure.
all my what's the phrase? The poker.
Energy.
No,
All your
like
chips.
the poker.
All your
All my
chips.
chips are in there. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Got it in there.